As we start tonight's game, I wanted you all to know if you heard any background noise, I'm watching the Penn State-Oregon game along with Alabama-Georgia. But as you can tell, I just put all my IU stuff away. I will wear it again next week and even tomorrow. It was getting closer to our basically I just wanted to settle from the night. I really wanted to settle from this game. And I felt like just in general, this was one of the most sound performances I've ever seen IU have on a football field. This was incredible. And I wouldn't say it was sound all the way through. We had a lot of bumps, a lot of cracks, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of defensive effort and a lack of offensive effort at times. Wide receivers couldn't catch the ball for their lives. Wide receivers couldn't come in and protect coverage. O-line, basically the pass rush was non-existent for IU today. But Indiana did an incredible job at the end, especially around the last 2 minutes of the game. Elijah Sarratt really making the play that we will probably remember for the rest of our lives. It was not only the most incredible play that I have personally ever seen on a football field, it might be one of the best plays in IU history. And for us to go, there was a great quote, I just saw it a few minutes ago, and I would say, this is exactly how I feel. I will actually retweet it later. Thank you to Michael Beasy, Get Like Me 1823 on Twitter. And that is, bro, the fact IU is 5-0 2 years in a row was cloud nine, because there was a time where we prayed to beat the Bums to start 4-0 and hope to win 2 games in the Big Ten and to make a bowl game. I love Signetti. That's so true. That's so true. I mean, it's not even about the win. It can be about the win. It can be about the losses. It can be about the little things that we did wrong. But at the end of the day, IU did awesome. Just awesome. I almost lost my voice earlier because I was screaming so loud at Elijah Sarratt's touchdown. He had an incredible game today. Sarratt just went off. I'm not even joking. He had 132 yards, 6 receptions, 1 touchdown with 22.0 yards average. And second to him was Omar Cooper Jr., because I like going through the stats. Omar Cooper Jr. had 55 yards, 4 receptions for 1 touchdown. E.J. Williams had 37 receptions, 1 touchdown, not 37 receptions, 37 yards, my bad. 37 yards, 1 reception. Roman Hemby, 5 yards, 1 reception, and Raleigh Nowakowski had 4 yards, 1 reception. Of course, Elijah Sarratt, he's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's Waffle House. We love Waffle House. I love Waffle House. I love them, and I love Waffle House, the actual chain. But I will say this, Indiana really today, with the game being at 3:30, was full of a bunch of ups and downs. I will say, though, Iowa's quarterback, if we were off at points, Mark Gronowski, if he wasn't hurt, I think Iowa would have won that game. I really do. I don't think Iowa wouldn't have won that game any differently than they would have otherwise. They missed the field goal. If they didn't miss the field goal, I don't think Iowa would have come in with the victory. It was that nail-biting. We were this close to losing the game. Just that close. And I don't know what to say with something. Oh, my goodness. It says one person was rescued from a building fire in Fort Hamilton, Brooklyn. On the local news station over in Chicago and New York. But anyway, I was saying we're hoping they're okay. But Elijah Sarratt was just basically a demon to deal with today for Iowa. And Fernando Mendoza, that prayer picture where he's getting it, where he says to Jesus, thank you, points up to the sky. There is a revival going on in our country right now with religion. Catholics, Christians are really waking up to seeing how the world is. But it's not even about that. It was just Indiana had been hoping for a prayer for decades. And we're finally getting our prayers answered. Not just because the Indiana Pacers did such an incredible job in the playoffs last year. We're not talking about that. We're not about the NBA Finals. The Colts are doing tremendous. the Fever are what could come back in the series against the Las Vegas Aces. And the Hoosiers happen to be a part of the Indiana history. This was awesome. I loved it. This game was amazing, even though it was so up and down, so left and right, very scrappy. I don't think we'll play well against Oregon myself. I just meant the game was everything you want out of college football. It was everything. You got everything you ever wanted out of this game. And if you had gotten the hang of it a long time ago, especially last year, and you didn't notice how good last year was to this year's been better than last year in some ways. Last year, to me, was special because the 2024 team was absolutely, oh my goodness. And look at this. He's going to run in the flat first down for the Ducks. As that's who we're going to play next week. And I love that 2024 team because they were very special to my heart, to everybody's heart. But this game we're watching very, very, very closely because this game right here matters way more than people think. Oregon is going to be our opponent here in 2 weeks. And Oregon has an incredible opportunity to we'll have an incredible opportunity to go in there and maybe upset Oregon. We don't know, but these are two of the best teams in the Big Ten. So Penn State, Oregon may feel like the biggest game in college football this week, but in 2 weeks from now, this might be a college game day place. I mean, Oregon could win. Let's just be real. Oregon could win. Indiana, I'll say this. Indiana didn't have I had a lack of understanding third down situations in close moments. I wouldn't say they did a great job on the third down conversions, especially closer to the game. They just don't know how to pull a game off, but they did today, which was shocking. Because I thought, there was no way they were going to pull this off. And they did. And I'm happy they did. I'm delighted they did. I'm grateful they did. But, I mean, there were just moments I thought, we're going to blow the game away. We're going to blow it away. Blow it away and away and away some more. The old Indiana would have just got crushed. Would have lost might have made it close and then lost by about 10 or 20 points. That was the old IU. The new IU isn't like that. The new IU is way better than the old IU. By a long shot. And Oregon's trying some tricks up their sleeves every week. They try tricks, and I don't think Indiana could be ready for Autzen Stadium. I think it might be like playing Ohio State last year, where we're going to struggle at points, but in points we're going to be really, really good and maybe just continue to be good. But this Indiana team's pretty much NFL ready. They're very NFL ready. They're very NFL sound. And the one thing I love about this team more than anything is the heart that they have for each other, their guys. Last year we had that. This year it's even more extended. When I was at IU, I think all the craze was how good IU. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Penn State cornerback just intercepted the ball from Oregon, and he had just almost ran out to the crib for a touchdown. My goodness. I know I've been watching this game. I've been watching the Alabama-Georgia game. Let's see, look at this again. I wanted to show you this. He's going to pick it up and go all Brad Haley. Great Haley, but he didn't. And Penn State and Oregon are tied at 3. This one's been a classic. Let's just admit that. This game right here, this game reminds me a lot of when Ohio State and Texas played in week 1. It was pretty good. It's pretty defense heavy. Not very much offense. 2 field goals. Not very much to speak of on the offensive end. But that's a really important game for 2 weeks from now, which I can't believe. I wish we played a game next week. That'd be a lot of fun. But let's get to the stats here really fast. Fernando Mendoza today was 233 yards, 23 or 13 for 233 yards, 2 touchdowns with 1 pick in the fourth quarter. That was a really bad pick. Roman Himby ran the ball extremely well today. 86 yards, 15 carries for no touchdowns. Kaelon Black had 38 yards, 11 carries. Fernando Mendoza had 26 yards, 8 carries And Omar Cooper Jr. had 3 yards and 1 carry. We already talked about the wide receiving core. Kicking was great. Niko Radicic is a superstar. I hope he could go to a team like the New England Patriots or even transfer to somewhere like Clemson that actually does need a kicker. But I do think he's great. He'd be good for the Colts. He would be really good for the Colts. Because believe it or not, the Colts have a good kicker anyway. We love Spencer Strader. But I think he'd look good in a town like Cincinnati where the Bengals need help in their kicking game, or Minnesota or someone like that. But he's really, really, really good. He was 2 of 2 today. His longest field goal was 46 yards and had 8 points. And then in punting, Mitch McCarthy, who also did incredible today, kicked for an average of 38.8 yards and had 155 yards punting for 4 numbers. But it was great. I mean, the whole team performance, not really much, and this is the first time I've ever seen this on any of my notes, but hardly anything on defense to talk about. They were really bad today. They weren't very good. They didn't play well. They didn't play to their fullest potential. Then there were moments where they didn't know what they were doing, and the offense didn't know what they were doing, and everybody else didn't know what they were doing, and it really ended up being bad for them. I really did not like that defense. I didn't like it, and it wasn't really good today. But other than that, I mean, offense was so-so. Defense was decent. Had a lot of penalties, especially around the second half. A lot of penalties. And if we didn't have those penalties, they would not have ate us up that much. But they did, and they ate us up tremendously. And that's part of the reason why Indiana not only was struggling at points today, but why Iowa was able to capitalize on those moments and really try to play well offensively. Defensively for Iowa, they weren't very good as well. I'll just read the stats for you real quick. For Iowa, Mark Gronowski was 19 of 25 for 144 yards, one interception. Hank Brown, who came in for Gronowski when he got injured in the fourth quarter, had 48 yards, was 5 of 13 with 1 interception, so they both had an interception. Kamari Moulton for Iowa had 75 yards rushing for 18 carries. Nathan McNeil had 9 yards for 4 carries. Mark Gronowski had 7 yards for 8 carries. And Terrell Washington Jr. had 1 yard for 1 carry. That's a very simple stat right there. And we thank you all for watching this live stream here tonight. And oh my goodness, Oregon scored. Oregon just scored a touchdown, and now they are up after Denary Hill Jr. scored an 8-yard touchdown reception to make it 9-3. And so that we're watching this game. We're also watching Alabama, Georgia for those that have just tuned in. And yes, I'm doing really good, and I'm doing very well right now. Let's see. Okay. We do thank you for watching. We thank everybody for watching tonight. I really wanted to, let's see, the receiving core, you got Sam Phillips, who had 64 yards, 5 receptions. And then you had Keaton Wheaton with 29 yards, 4 receptions. Jacob Gill, who was popular today because I referenced Caitlin Gill. 28 yards, 3 receptions. Kamari Moulton had 21 yards, 3 receptions. Dayton Howard had 21 yards, 2 receptions. DJ Von May had 16 yards, 4 receptions. And Nathan McNeil had 13 yards and 3 receptions. And so I will actually get back to this person here. They could actually, they could join us on of course, we can talk about this on a different stream. But I'll make sure to bring that up. Indiana played an impressive game today. Final score of this one was Indiana 20, Iowa 15. And we thank you so much for watching. I know they kept this pretty short, but I didn't want to really tackle in too much since I was almost hoarse earlier. So I was really reacting to the game extremely well. And we thank you for all that have joined. The audiences that join on these are just spectacular. They really keep the drive going for me. They are incredible. And I really, really, really liked talking to everybody. Even if there's sometimes I get 0 people watching. There's sometimes I get 2 people watching. Today I got 2 people watching and multiple watching after this. So, yeah, we thank you so much. Have a great day. And, yeah, I'm going to get back to that probably on another live stream. Joshua, I hope if we did want to speak about Christ, of course, I am a big believer in Christ. We just talked about Fernando Mendoza. He's a big believer in Christ. We could talk about that on another stream, especially on the next live stream that we do. But for right now, I don't usually request much. There was one person that requested doing a live stream, and they really had the opportunity to see what was going on over at The Rock. And that was okay because I personally was not, I was fine doing it because he was actually there. The person that requested was already there, one of my followers. And I was happy he was because he gave me a first-hand perspective of how The Rock was, but for some reason connections were difficult. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I really didn't. I'm sorry, but I don't really take a lot of those unless they're actually at the game. So thank you so much. Have a great day. And, yeah, go IU. What a great win today. What a great win.